Welcome back to the Mount Pleasant Dynasty. With only 3 games left in the regular season, Mount Pleasant is on the road for their final road game of the season as they will be taking on number 1 ranked Tennessee. Tennessee is 9-0 on the season, giving up 14 points on defense. Their offense is a very effective group. However, they will be without their top receiver, Juwan Jennings, who was questionable for today's game and has been ruled out. So this might be our toughest test. It's either this or Clemson. As the throw across the middle for Jalen Hurd, he's got it for 18 yards into midfield. A good opening drive already for Tennessee. Now a quick bubble screen outside for Bird. He's got it and stopped just shy of the first down line. Tennessee picks up the first down on the next play. Now they go counter to Jalen Hurd. He powers through the defender and gets 10 yards and another first down. Tennessee's going to go up tempo today, and they're really going to try to expose this defense that's been exposed all season, as here's another big run. Jalen Hurd once again has nearly all of their offense so far, and now it's a read option for Dobbs, and Brian Thomas stops him at the goal line, only a 2-yard gain. Now second down and goal, offset shotgun read option again, and Joshua Dobbs gets into the end zone from 1 yard out. A great opening drive from Tennessee. We do have a studio update though, a top 5 matchup. Number 2 UCLA was victorious over Washington, and then number 7 Michigan State beats number 8 Ohio State, a lot of big time matchup, and Georgia Tech beats number 13 Clemson. Clemson's fallen off a little bit since we played them. They were number 2 when we played them, and they will be sure to drop even further. Second down and 10, Jonathan Gibbs from the shotgun. He holds onto the football and tries to get rid of it, and the ball is just goes nowhere. So it's third down and 10. Gibbs drops back. He runs out of time, and the pocket collapses. He goes down. It's a sack for Corey Vereen. Tennessee takes back over after the 3 and out, as it's Josh Malone across the middle for 9 yards. This is a talented Tennessee offense, and one that is in tight competition to play in the national championship game, as they go back to Malone once again in a split shotgun look with Alvin Kamara in the game. Kamara gets the pitch. He trucks the defender, definitely the more shifty of the 2 backs you'll see today, but shows off some nice power right there as he goes for 12 yards. And our best defensive lineman, Bruce Elbert, a guy we cannot afford to lose, the senior lineman, does go down on that last play, and that's a big loss if he can't return. This is already a very tough game for us to even compete in, and then missing one of your best defenders is not going to help you. There's a run for Josh Dobbs that goes for 8 yards. Now inside of the 5-yard line is Joshua Dobbs, who gives it to Jalen Hurd. He goes for a yard and picks up the first down. Now second down and goal, and Hurd once again takes it in, and it's now a 14-0 lead for the Volunteers here at home. Our defense has not been able to put up any sort of resistance, and our offense is struggling to get anything going, as there's another sack for Tennessee. Now trying to set up a screen to negate some of the aggressiveness of this Tennessee defensive line, but the speed of Tennessee's defense is too much. That play only goes for 2 yards, and it's another stop for Tennessee, as now it's back on offense. Jalen Hurd once again on the reception. The 6'3" running back showing off some nice receiving skills. The dump down goes to Josh Malone, who's brought down, but was brought down by his face mask, so that tacks on some extra yardage. Now it's Dobbs on the outside. He goes speed option. He goes for 9 yards, and it's now second down and 1. Final play of the first quarter, they go screen to Jalen Hurd, who stiff arms the defender and is brought down inside of the 1-yard line. First down and goal, it's Joshua Dobbs. He throws. He's got Preston Williams on the slant route from 2 yards out, and it goes, and it's now a 21-0 lead for Tennessee. Both sides of the football so far have been flat out bad for the Demons, as this is not a game you really expect to win, but it would be nice to see at least a little bit of fight put up, as on third down and 8, it's another 3 and out for Mount Pleasant. Tennessee's offense gets back on the field, and so does our defense. Without Bruce Elbert for the rest of the game, he was diagnosed with a concussion, so he will not be returning. On second down and 1 though, it's Jalen Hurd who goes up the middle off the motion for 5 yards. Once again they motion Hurd, this time a big hole up the middle. He falls forward inside of the 25-yard line. Now first down and 10 on the read option. They give it to Hurd. He just trucks the defender and will take it from 24 yards out. It was Khalif Keenan who was planted in the ground on that play, and Tennessee now has a 28-0 lead. We try and go outside on the run. Eldon Huff goes for 3 yards. A lot of speed and talent on this Tennessee defense. 3rd down and 6, and it's deflected and nearly intercepted. Had a man open underneath. Instead, it's another stop for Tennessee's defense, and their offense is back on the field doing what they've done all game so far. A 15-yard reception for Preston Williams. Now it's Joshua Dobbs on the quarterback keeper. He goes down after a 4-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down and short. A split shotgun look, they're going to run the option. Dobbs is just going to keep it. He's inside of the 10, 5, and takes it in. 22-yard run for Joshua Dobbs. No resistance. Wasn't even touched until he got into the end zone. Let's see if our offense can get anything going on this drive as the first play goes for a loss of 1. Now 3rd down and 6, a split back set. Jonathan Gibbs across the middle, and it's Kenton Watkins on the slant route for 9 yards to continue the drive. Now running the read option is Eldon Huff up the middle. He gets a nice gain of around 7 on that play. And now it's 3rd down and 5. Under a minute left in the first half. Jonathan Gibbs tries to step up, and he goes down. A loss of 5, another sack for this Tennessee defense, as they will carry the shutout into halftime 35-0. This first half has shown us why Tennessee is the #1 ranked team in the country. They're playing great on both sides of the football. However, we are not. Only 24 yards of offense, and that has got to change if we want to even put some points on the board in this game, as now it's Eldon Huff on our drive to open up the second half. He goes for 8 yards. Trips to the right on 3rd down and 2. Read option give goes to Eldon Huff, who is stopped just shy, and it's 4th down and inches, and we will punt the ball away. That was the second time we've not been able to convert on 4th down and inches, and so it's Tyler Bird on the out route. Now 3rd down and 2 for Joshua Dobbs. He's going to take off and roll out to the right and runs upfield and cuts and gets into Mount Pleasant territory while picking up a first. Now it's some read option, and it's Dobbs breaking a tackle. He's into the open field, breaks another, at least powers through it at least, and gets 25 yards. Jalen Hurd checks back into the game as Dobbs from the pocket. He is all day to throw, and eventually finds his man Preston Williams breaking away. Quarterbacks can't have that long to throw. No matter who it is, they will eventually pick you apart. Just like the Clemson game, my only goal for this game was to not get shut out. We obviously had no chance against the #1 team in the country, but at this point, like I said, you just really want to put some points on the board so you're not shut out. It would be the first time we're shut out on the season. We did score at least once against Clemson, which was nice to see. Ken Watkins, though, 14-yard reception. A split back set on 1st down and 10, and Gibbs is hit. Interior pressure has been the story all year, and it's Derek Barnett playing as a defensive tackle on that play. And once again on 3rd down and 18, it's the interior pressure that gets there, and that will force another punt. We near the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd down and 4. Throw outside, and it's Josh Malone along the sideline for a 10-yard reception and a first. End of the 4th quarter. Now it's 42-0. It's Smith on a little dump down throw, and he ends up fighting for it and picking up some extra yak, and that's to the 50-yard line. 2nd down and 10. A dump down goes to Callaway, and he's got 8 yards. That will bring up 3rd down and very manageable. 4-man front for Mount Pleasant, and it's Hurd. He stiff arms the defender and is driven backwards by Khalif Keenan, but picks up the first. It's 1st down and 10, and it's Jalen Hurd. That route has been very effective all game. Our linebackers don't have the agility or athleticism to really keep up with him in the open field, or the power. Plays like that really show off how dominant he can be against a team like Mount Pleasant. Dobbs will drop back once again, though, and another dump down, this time to Preston Williams, who is brought down inside of the 5-yard line. A heavy set for Dobbs. He throws to the end zone. He's got Jason Kroom, the tight end. It's a 4-yard touchdown. Dobbs 3rd on the day. With only 5 minutes left in the ball game, it's Jonathan Gibbs once again getting sacked. That's Vickers' 2nd sack. 3rd down and 19, a draw play, and a flag is down on the play. We'll have to see what it is, and it's holding on that short of a run. That's just sad to see. Don McClellan called for it, and it would be declined by Tennessee. 44 total yards and only 4 first downs for Mount Pleasant. they're just getting manhandled in all facets of the game. As back on offense, they lose the football. It's Kavika Watts who recovers it. There's at least a positive play. And one other positive, our offense has not turned the ball over. That's great to see. Now we'll take a shot downfield, and that ball's nearly intercepted as Jonathan Gibbs is 8 for 13 on the day. Gibbs will go deep once again along the sideline, and Harrison once again can't make the contested catch. That's definitely one of the areas he definitely struggles with. Now it's Jalen Hurd, a great block by the tackle as Hurd is into the open field, brought down to the 32-yard line, a 34-yard run. Hurd motions and gets the handoff up the middle. He powers through a couple of defenders and is brought down after picking up a first. Nearly 300 yards rushing for Tennessee today, and they've also passed the ball pretty well as it's Dobbs with another first down run. Only 23 seconds left. It's Hurd from 4 yards out. He goes in, and that will be one of the final plays of the game as it's 56-0 now. Mount Pleasant is going to get shut out. A couple of studio updates though, as TCU beats Kansas State and Florida State was victorious in their game. Joshua Dobbs only 3 incompletion, nearly runs for 100 yards on the ground and has 5 touchdowns. A great overall performance from him and the #1 Tennessee Volunteers as a whole. They really showed off why they are the #1 ranked team in the country. And it's games like this that really show you how far Mount Pleasant has to go if they want to be a nationally relevant program. But with it being sort of a year 0 in this build, you obviously wouldn't expect us to really put up much of a fight against the best team in the country, at least according to ranking they're the best team. With only a few players who I feel like could even be on a Power 5 roster, players like Brian Thomas and Allen Harrison, you can see only 51 total yards it ended up being for our offense, of course 0 points. Now we go into recruiting. 2 guys do commit to other schools that are not us. 2 guys that I wasn't really too heavily going after. You have James Robert, a 2-star strong safety going to the University of South Carolina, and a running back going to Nevada. A look at the top of our board, the top 6 prospects: Ernest Harrison, Marcus Mason, Isaac Henderson, Aaron Wright, Jerome Hill, and Josh Jackson. Some nice leads for all of them. A look at the stats for these players. Marcus Mason, a great athlete in the tight end position, would be a great guy to get. Aaron Wright is a large defensive end, 300 pounds. He might be a guy who moves inside to defensive tackle and is sort of a good pass rusher on the interior. And then Josh Jackson, not the biggest guy, but is a good athlete. However, our next game will be against the 2-8 Troy Trojans at home. Our final 2 games are in Mount Pleasant, which is at least a good thing to end the season. You can see their stats so far. They're a pretty good offense and air raid team, led by a quarterback who's been injured for a lot of the year in Brandon Silvers, a nice running back in Jordan Chun. You can see their schedule: wins over ULM and Louisiana Lafayette. But for a team that didn't play that tough of a schedule and was projected to be a pretty good team, they're definitely a disappointment this year. And you look at the updated top 10 in the BCS, UCLA, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and Michigan State are your top 5. Alabama at number 17 with 4 losses on the season. Clemson is now number 19 after another loss. The Heisman, Justin Thomas is actually leading, with Chad Kelly in 5th, Malik Zaire in 2nd. But now to end this episode, we're going to look at every conference and get a look around the country at the updated conference standings. You can see Temple and Tulsa are in the lead in the American. Oklahoma, Texas, West Virginia are your Big 12 top 3. In the Big 10, you actually have Iowa in 1st place along with Michigan State in the East and the West. Conference USA, you have Marshall, FIU, Middle Tennessee State, with Western Kentucky struggling a good bit. You have Western Michigan in 4th place at 8-3, but Ohio playing very well in the top 25. And the Mountain West, Utah State and Boise State. Pac-12, it's UCLA, Oregon, and Washington, with Washington State being in last place. The SEC features Tennessee and Georgia in 1st place, and LSU and Ole Miss in 1st and 2nd place in the West. And finally ending off with the Sun Belt, of course the conference that we will be playing in next year, as Lafayette and Arkansas State are the best 2 teams in that conference. Finally, a look at Troy's roster. Like I said, a nice tailback in Jordan Chun, some nice defender and offensive linemen. And so it will be an interesting matchup. It's definitely a team that I feel like we match up pretty well against. A somewhat similar talent level, at least compared to some of the other teams that we have played. And at home, you do have that home field advantage. But our last game of the season will be against UAB, but before that we will be playing against Troy, like I've said. And I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like down below. Leave your comments on today's game down below. Any impressions from it. Obviously not the best game out there. Losing 56-0. You can't get too many positives out of it. One more thing before I end off today's episode. There is a little bit of a surprise coming for Senior Day. We'll be debuting something that a lot of you have been asking for. I'm sure you might be able to guess it down in the comments. But it will be exciting and a chance to see the final game for these seniors. Like I said, though, I hope you did enjoy. I will see you in the next couple of days for the next episode, hopefully, because I'm out.